Welcome back to another episode of the Captain Sandy and Leah Rae Show. Today, we're actually going to answer some questions from you guys, which were really, well, this next question I have experienced, and so has Leah. So let's listen to the question.
Hi, I lost my husband 4 years ago. I'm having an awful time trudging through this mess. I just want to stay home and do nothing, and I'm wasting precious time, but I just am so broken up over this. I don't know where to turn. Thank you.
I think you should start with this, Leah.
Yeah, well,
Since it,
first of all, I'm just so sorry for your loss. I mean, death is terrible to go through for anybody, and grief is different for everybody. I know I lost my dad to COVID and my grandma and my aunt within 3 weeks of each other. And can kind of only go by like what my mom's gone through. I mean, my dad was the love of her life. They knew each other since high school. They slept in a double bed. They were inseparable. And what she did was she dove right into grief counseling, like help, grief groups. And she looked online and she just kind of did all she could do to search for people who also understood what she was going through. And some groups worked, some didn't. Some people she related to, some she didn't, but she didn't stay home because she just knew for her that wasn't the healthiest thing to do.
right.
So, but
Yeah.
it's so hard.
Yeah, I lost my parents at sea, both of them. My mom passed away. I was in the Barcelona boat show, and I didn't know she was in the hospital. She had had a heart attack, and it's so hard. And I lost my father. I was at sea, and he also had a heart attack. That was hard. But losing my mom for some reason was the hardest. And I was always thinking, did she go to heaven? Did she go to heaven? Because my mom has a past, right? So alcohol addiction runs in my family, and she was a major alcoholic. And towards the end of her life, she was doing better, and her heart just stopped. I recently lost my niece to addiction, so that was hard. So what I did was I surrounded myself with people who had loss, not people who had never lost anyone, because they can't relate. It's like being an alcoholic trying to talk to a civilian about my addiction. They can't relate. Find someone you can relate to, because it makes the difference. And then keep talking. I kept talking and talking until there was no more talking. I just kept talking about it because people who have had loss, right, understand and they listen.
Yeah. And I mean, I was angry too. I was really angry at God. Like, how could you take my dad like that? With COVID, I didn't even get to say goodbye. And I couldn't even be by his bedside. There was no closure at all when you lose someone so fast and so instant. And you just think, really? Like, that's it? Like, they're just gone. And it's really hard to wrap your head around that kind of loss. And I would also say just kind of be open to signs with
What's-
that person.
What'd you dream about last night?
Yeah, was hugging my dad, And then also I believe in God, and I believe he sends people in your life and in your path that, like yesterday, a gentleman walked through Hydro Lounge to get an IV because he just lost his dad to COVID. And I said, oh my gosh, I get it. Like, I get it.
Right. And the other part of that is, don't beat yourself up. I can't imagine how many years you were with your husband. 4 years has passed, and you still are finding it hard to get motivated. And you use the word trudging. I'm sober, and in our 12 steps in our big book, it talks about trudging the road to happy destiny. You have to trudge. That means you have to get out. You have to try, because trudging is a part of life. You will get to the other side, but you have to do the work. You have to reach out. Just don't sit there. If you want change, you want to feel differently, you have to get out. You have to reach out, stick your hand out, and ask for help. And sometimes that's joining a group, right?
Sometimes it's just taking a shower. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
Just eat a meal, or just call a friend.
Right.
The little things.
Going for a walk.
Yeah.
for me, I was fortunate I had meetings to go to and a sponsor to call. I was surrounded with people who had had loss because in addiction, you lose a lot of people. So for me, I was surrounded with love. Surround yourself with love. Find those people. They're out there. Similar people, right?
Yeah. And you had love too. A lot of people never experience what you experienced with your husband. Like, it's a beautiful thing to remember that you had something that some people never have had, and just hold on to that. But yeah, I love what you said.
Yeah, and love yourself because
Yeah.
that's what they would want for you. So
Yeah.
I shared that I was worried about my mom to go to heaven. So I have 3 sisters. I'm the youngest of 3 girls. And I had a dream. I don't want to cry. My mom was in heaven. And it was awesome. It was incredible. July's her birthday. So I still feel the pain. You know how many years ago I lost my mom? 20 years ago plus. And so she was on the church steps, which I didn't like going to church. And my grandmother was there, who never drove a day in her life, was driving the church bus. And my mom goes, "Come home, baby." And I was riding my bicycle. And I had no idea. Like, all these years later, I'm on a motorcycle and I get into a crash. I'm flipping in the air and I felt my mom. And I thought, I'm going to heaven. I'm going to see my mom, my dad, like my family that's in heaven. And I woke up on the pavement. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, I was peaceful. But today I still have tears.
Yeah.
Right? Do you?
Yes. Like, I cry all the time about my dad. And I was talking to my mom about this the other day because my mom said she stopped crying for some reason. And I said, that's okay too. Like, she felt bad for not crying about it. But then all of a sudden it'll hit her, like at a farmer's market where she walked with my dad, and all of a sudden she'll just break down. And you have to allow yourself to cry and break down and feel that. And I think you taught me that, because so many times I just I miss my dad every second, every day, and I don't want to feel bad that I cry about it. It's good.
Exactly, just like I cried. And the thing is it's okay. And also, there's no time limit because you will always feel that loss. And that's how I feel. Like, I miss my mom.
Yeah, I miss my dad. But they're together.
Yeah, they're hanging out in
hanging out.
heaven. So forgive me for crying, but that's,
What?
well, I'm just saying,
No.
like, yeah, it's not easy. So give yourself a break. But for me, I surrounded myself with people who had had loss, and they held me up, and I trudged the road. And some days Leah trudges the road, right?
I trudge every day.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not easy, life.
Yeah,
It's
so-
not easy, but we support each other and we have good friends. And I mean, life is just hard. And for us, it's our faith, it's our love, it's our friends, and you can't do it by yourself. That's for sure.
Not at all. Like, I had support. I feel so grateful because I have that. The other part is, I just want to say this. You're okay. You're going to be okay. And allow yourself, even after 4 years, to feel like you're trudging. But trudge. Don't sit in your house. Get out. Go for a walk. Get a puppy. Puppies are so good for the soul if you don't have one. Get a puppy. We love puppies.
We love puppies.
Yeah, because, my dog, like, our dogs are our, like, life.
Dog
And-
is God spelled backwards.
Yeah, totally. So anyway, I hope you got something out of this. And I just want to give you my phone number.
She wants to give everybody her phone number, and I have to screen those calls.
Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah.
thank you. And
Yeah, thank you so much. And thank you for your question. We really appreciate it. And we hope that it blessed you today, and hang in there. So thank you so much for joining us and tuning in. Click on the link below and ask us any question you want. You hit record and you can send an audio message and we will answer as best as we can for you. Thank you so much for your support, and subscribe to our channel.
and thank you for your raw and real question.
Yes.
And thank you for listening to me cry.
I'll listen to you cry.
Thank you. We love you guys. Come back and join us. Bye.
Nothing's gonna hold